Hey, I'm like the neighbor from, what was that? What's the name of that show? What, Tim the Tool Man? Anyways, so I actually, I was doing a live yesterday, and I got myself a little ticked off. Um, it was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. It pissed me off. Okay, and that is when the antagonizer came into my comments and said something about he asked or could have been she, I really don't know. They asked how much are you being paid to protest, and the question was posted a couple of different ways, and I was like, are you freaking serious, dude? Who can afford to pay millions of people to come protest? This is happening because the people's hearts are speaking that they want better for their country. And trust and believe, nobody's getting paid, yo. I didn't get paid the second one. I didn't get paid at this one. Nobody offered to pay me. I didn't turn down being paid. But there was one comment about things getting burnt down on King Street. And I want to apologize to that person if they happen to watch this. And maybe I'll go back and watch the replay and figure out exactly what happened back there. Because I made some comments, and I have a feeling that as I replied to one comment, someone else thought I replied to them, and I was just by then so worked up, I allowed myself to take the bait, is what happened with that one antagonizer. And then that brought me into just a, screw all you kind of attitude, and that was not cool. And I definitely was not in a position to be reading and replying to comments, because I was trying to that's the red-shouldered hawk. Anyways, I should have sat down and really just focused on the comments and the replies that I was giving. There was one point where I was talking with a woman who had walked by, but I didn't feel comfortable videotaping her, and the conversation just organically happened. And she was asking, what do we do next? And I thought she meant after the protest. I said, well, I'm going home, and she says, no, I mean, like, what's our next action? I said, well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. And I directed her to, the organizers' tables. And when I said the organization that put this on, I misspoke, okay? There were several groups that helped organize this. The No Kings people, the Indivisible for All, a lot of democracy first groups who feel like the rest of us that showed up feel. We want our voice heard. We want others to know they're not alone. And, we did that. Bella experienced it. We didn't stay as long as I would have liked. I forgot my hat. Oh, I was so mad at myself, and I didn't have any sunscreen on. So that's why we were kind of staying in the shade, because I didn't want to get burnt. I did get a little burnt. It's not so bad today, but I felt it when I put the hat on. Like, I did get a little burnt. But we tried to stay in shady areas, So, anyways, it was a great time. That was serious work. We weren't there to party, but we weren't there to riot either. And I really am sorry, as a collective whole, that any violence happened by anybody during these things, especially if they were if they happened by those of us that are participating in these protests. That's not what this is about. That's a total misrepresentation of what this is about, and it angers me that that happened. I read, I still haven't found an article about the King Street, but I did find a lot of articles about violence, and it really upset me. And so, but there was one in particular, I forget where, somebody in the audience, or not the audience, Jesus, somebody at the protest had a rifle, and they were an antagonizer, and for some reason the safety person had a gun, and never ever should you discharge a gun in a crowd, for fuck's sake, come on. I don't know what the guy with the rifle was doing, if anything, but I do know that someone lost their life because the safety person played, fast and loose with their responsibilities, and that is horrible. That is shameful. That never should have happened. I am appalled. And it's not the norm, but it happened. And I'm not going to try to make it sound good, because it's not. There's nothing good about what happened there. There's nothing. Honestly, unless that guy was physically cocking his fucking gun, his rifle, and pointing it at somebody, there was no reason to have the security person bring a gun out, let alone shoot into a crowd. I can't make that one make sense. That will never make sense to me. Unless, I just don't have all the facts, but that's really the only reason that I would say, but still, never in a crowd. What the hell? What the hell? Jesus. Oh, God. But overall, and not to overshadow that, but to focus on what it was really all about, we made our voices heard. And I'd like to say that we don't need another one, but you know we do. You know we do. Until real change happens, we always need to protest. So, power to the people.